Hey folks, this is Dave with Mile High Rural Land, and hey, I wanted to give you a rundown on this fabulous property that we've got out in northeastern Colorado, California. I'm sorry. Um, it is in Modoc County, which is your upper northeast county that borders Oregon and Nevada. Some really gorgeous property up there: hunting, camping, fishing. You want to get away, take the RV up there, build a little cabin. This is some aerial drone footage that we've got. Just give you a quick rundown. This is a kind of an L-shaped property. Essentially, if you were to break it into 40 acres, it would break down, just like that. But they're not very apt to allowing to subdivide out here. I haven't fought it very hard, but you can see it. You've got nice road access. Plum Valley Road is a county-maintained road. You got about an acre of property over here, and actually that's a really ideal spot for a well, and then you can pump it up this way. This north property also is a little bit more flat. There's no official easement granted yet, but I've spoken to the neighbor, and he seemed pretty agreeable to it. So that can get done. It's a little bit steep down here from the road, but you can get up there with a 4-wheel drive. So you may, to put a driveway, and need to do a little bit of dirt work there. This is Davis Creek, Goose Lake out over here, and gives you another, just kind of a pan out of where the property is located. You can see that there's a house here. There's also houses along here, which I'll show you from the map view. Oops. This is from the west side looking east. So if you were standing here, Mount Shasta would be behind you. And on a clear day, you can get a nice view of Mount Shasta from here. So Davis Creek, which is, I don't know if you call it a town, I'd almost call it a village. There's a few houses and whatnot there. And I hit it again, doggone it. If you head this way over towards the arrow, that takes you into Alturas, which is a town that has just about everything you need and it's about 20, 30 minutes away. Here's the property up on the hill here. This gives you just another view of the nearby lakes, a couple of small ones here, and of course Goose Lake is north of here, and then Bishop Lake down here. The property is right here. Oregon border, Nevada border. And I mapped out just directions from Klamath Falls, so you can go a couple of different ways, but so it's a little over 2 hours, about 2.25 hours from Klamath. I didn't include the map from Reno or from Sac. It's about 3 hours from both of those places. So this was taken in the late spring, or actually I think February, March, so more in the winter. So they get a little bit of snow up there. It's mostly accessible, good roads. This is the actual property site here. This is the road the county road, Plum Road, that runs alongside the property. These are random views from the property. So yes, these are actual photos. I paid a photographer to go up there and do nice photos and also drone shots. This is from the road over to the west of the property, pretty far. The property's up here in the hills, but it gives you a nice view of the area. That's up close. This is a drone shot from above the property looking west. You can see there's a nice lake over here. So this property it's 120 acres of all kinds of topography. I would call it rolling hills. There's at least half a dozen nice spots on the property to build a cabin or a home. Power lines are not far. The closest house, I'm going to see if I can find it in these photos. Again, there's the road. If not, I'll show you from the map. but less than a quarter of a mile away. It depends on what portion of the property you're measuring from. Because a 40-acre square is going to run about a quarter of a mile. So here is the plat map, which just shows you the actual property here. Here's the drone video that we did. I'll kind of fast forward through spots, but you get the gist here of how the property lays out. There's steep parts, and there's not so steep parts. Just phenomenal views. Just going to fast forward this. You can view this from our website if you'd like. So remember, our website is milehighRuralLand.com, and you just click on the listings tab here. Oops, I redid it. milehighRuralLand.com, and just click on listings, and then the 120 acres, wooded foothills near Davis Creek. So phenomenal hunting here. I've got all the GPS coordinates here if you want to mark the four corners. I've given you some links to, wildlife and fishing, the county, all kinds of different things about the area, Bureau of Land Management, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, etc. All right, so why don't we take a look on Google Earth real quick. We zoom in a bit. Yes, you can see it is this northeast corner here. Some area photographs. That's just the county courthouse there in Alturas. You've got Tule Lake, Modoc National Park. Some cabin out in the boonies. I always like to look at some of these area photos and see what people have taken. That's a gorgeous winter view. So it's a really pristine area. That's wonderful. Again, you've got Goose Lake up here, which is huge, and a nice fishing and hunting area. There is the property. So you've got power about right here. So I would say as the crow down this line, you might be looking at roughly a quarter mile. There's probably power lines down here. It's hard to tell from this aerial view. You can call Modoc County Land Use Department. They can usually tell you approximately, or they'll tell you who the power company is, and you can get it from them. So there's also going to be power down here at this property, so maybe a half mile away. And no, there's not a property there. So it's not going to be too bad. And priced at $49,000, if it costs you 10 or 15 to run power, which I'm thinking it's more towards the 10 side, you're still getting a fantastic property to build your dream home on for a very low price. Let's take a look at some comps here. First, let's do this. Let's look at it on Google Maps and look at the street view of approximately the front of the property here. So if you're driving up, this is kind of what it's going to look like. This is right along the road. I don't know if we're exactly at the property. Seems to be some sort of a sign and fence there. We might be a little bit past it, but this is it's in this general area. But you can see a nicely maintained county road, County Road 11, and lots of trees. It's beautiful up here. There's definitely the ability to drill a well up there. There's a good water table, and so getting water is not going to be a big issue. and you've got 120 secluded acres, but you do have power close enough with some of the other houses. So you're not, and you're only like 20 to 30-minute drive from Alturas. So where you've got restaurants and shops and all that. Let's see. Let's take a look at Alturas. So here we are on the map. Alturas, if we see, so you drive up 395 to Davis Creek. And it's, I've mapped it. It's 20 to 30 minutes on the directions. I'm not going to do it here to spare you the time, but why don't I move this and let's take a look at some of the quick facts. Alturas, it's a population of 2,800, so it's pretty small, but there's shops and whatnot there. There's hotels, and pretty much whatever you need. I'll let you explore on your own. But you've got Tule Lake National Park, just every kind of outdoors that you want to do. Let's look at some comparables here. So we're asking what? $49,000 for 120 acres. And right here, very close by, we've got 40 acres for $45,000. There's mine at more or less 50 grand for 120 acres. Here's 90 acres for 75 grand. Now it does look like it has a little bit of water or something, so that's definitely worth some money, but it's completely flat property too. Depends what you want. Looks like it might have a little seasonal, a ditch or something, maybe some water rights. So that's a little bit different comp, but still a good bit more expensive. There's 200 acres for $100,000. So we've got 57 acres for $99,000, although it looks like it's got maybe a structure on it. Now this is landwatch.com that I'm looking on. 80 acres for $120,000. 173 acres for $123,000. So you can see, now this is a real nice property. 118 for $245. That actually sounds like a pretty good deal because it's got that, if that creek is on the property. Water's worth a lot. But, we're wholesalers. We buy low and we sell low. This is a phenomenal property. We can look on Zillow as well. You've got a couple of solds here. Now this one here is only 10 acres, but it's sold for $48,000. So you've got another one here. Again, 10 acres, $48,000. Let me move this. There's a couple for sale. We've got 40 acres for 100 grand, and that looks a lot like our property. It's very, very similar. I don't know what that structure is. I think that structure is on the neighboring property. So, this is getting kind of far away over here, but 30 acres, $58,000, very similar. So I think this property is priced well below market, and you can't go wrong with it. You're going to do really well with this property, especially if you want to have privacy and have a great place to hunt, close to fishing. It's a wonderful property. So look us up at milehighRuralLand.com. If you want to place a deposit on this property, all you have to do is go purchase this property and just choose whether you want cash or terms. On a cash sale, you put in your buyer information. You can click this to pay the deposit amount. Deposit's $1,000. Put your buyer info, your address, and all that, and then put in your email and your credit card information, and it will charge the deposit and the doc fee. Doc fee is $2.99, and it'll shoot us an email, and then we'll draft the contracts, and we will arrange with you on how to make the balance of the payment. We can set it up in escrow, which for that size property, you probably want to close through title. You definitely want to close through title. Even though we did buy title insurance, you want to do that. It'll cost you less than $1,000 to close, and it's good peace of mind to have when you're spending $50,000. Okay, got any questions? Please reach out to us. Feel free to give us a call as well. The email address for sales is milehighland1@gmail.com. That's milehighland1@gmail.com. Or you can call us at 866-707-DIRT. That's 866-707-DIRT or 3478. Thanks, and I hope to hear from you.